Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Juice Baseball channel, and welcome back to an episode of the San Diego Padres rebuild here on MLB The Show 24. In the last episode, we had all kinds of good stuff. We had trade deadline stuff, we had all-star stuff, all the goods that you love to see in an MLB The Show video. And in that trade deadline portion, we made a couple of moves. Let's go to the actual trade transactions to see what moves we, in fact, did make. So we started by trading for Wyatt Langford from the Rangers. We traded away Christian Yelich because he was never really on the team. I just had him on the team because I thought it'd be fun. I've never had Christian Yelich on any of my MLB The Show teams, so I thought it'd be pretty fun. He was getting older. He wasn't really producing the way that I wanted him to, and he's got a massive contract that we needed to get out of anyway. So we sent him to Tejas, to the Rangers, along with Jake Marisnick and Dylan Lesko, which was a little bit of a hard pill to swallow. I didn't really want to get rid of Dylan Lesko, but if it brings us back the future starting left fielder for the San Diego Padres and Wyatt Langford, then I guess we can live with it because we do have a lot of depth at starting pitcher in terms of top prospects. So Wyatt Langford was the first domino to fall. Then we go and we get the actual starter for at least this season and maybe a little bit into next season until Wyatt Langford is officially ready. We traded away Joey, and this one wasn't really that difficult because he was on the trade block. The Nationals wanted to get rid of him, and we gave away Joey Gallo, who just was a gag trade because I thought maybe we could have a bunch of home runs given by Joey Gallo, but he just wasn't producing like Christian Yelich, kind of. And then we gave away Tupaquita Marcano, who in real life just got banned from baseball for life for betting on the league and betting on his own team. So we had to get him out somehow. And so we traded him to the Nationals because I hate my players and I send them to teams that suck. So we gave them to the Nationals, and we got back Lane Thomas, who is not a long-term option. Like I said, Wyatt Langford is probably the long-term option at left field in the grand scheme, the big plan. But Lane Thomas for right now is a good addition, especially if we want to make a playoff run. And the biggest piece, in my opinion, the biggest piece at the deadline, we traded away Mike Soroka. I was combining the two names that I see here. Mike Soroka, and Bobby Milwaukee. That's the names I was reading, both names. And then Tyler Neslony. We traded away two somewhat prospects, I guess, quote unquote prospects. They weren't ever going to have a future with us. And the main piece was Mike Soroka. And then we send them to the Mariners to bring in Luis Castillo, who is not having the greatest of seasons in terms of his win-loss record, or his ERA is a little bit high, but it's also not that high. His whip is slightly higher than you would want. His WAR is not great. He's not having a fantastic year, but he is a veteran pitcher who, alongside Dylan Cease, who's having a killer year, Shane Bieber is having a killer year, kind of cold right now, and Burns, who was having a killer year before he started to get cold down the stretch. Combination of these four guys plus the youth of Reed Detmers, who seems to be turning it around in his second season as the starter. I think the addition of Luis Castillo is going to work wonders for this starting rotation, especially when we are in a hot battle for the West with the Dodgers. It's really just us and the Dodgers. I would be shocked, kind of, if the Diamondbacks made their way back into play, if they started to be in contention for the division. But it's not out of the realm of possibility. They're only 11 games back in the Dodgers. They could go on a hot streak where they win, 10 of their last 11, and for some reason they're back. But I don't know if that's going to happen, but it could. It's baseball. Anything can happen. But right now it's just us and the Dodgers, and we know how good the Dodgers are. The Dodgers are the Dodgers. They're always going to be good. So I think the moves that we made are going to help not only for the long run, but also for this playoff run that we're trying to have right here in this season. Now, I've talked about the future of this team in terms of certain positions. Third base, I don't know where we go with third base. I have been thinking, I've talked about this in the last episode as well. I know for a fact that Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is a free agent this upcoming offseason. If we go all in on Vladdy Jr., we bring him in. He plays first base, or DH, it doesn't really matter. He plays first base. Christian Walker would then have to move probably to DH because I don't think he can play anything else. Oh, he can play left field, but he's super slow, so he's not playing left field. He moves to DH. Gleyber Torres, in turn, moves to third base because he can play third base. Now, his arm is not great. His arm is a 41, so I don't like the fact that he has to move to third base. Maybe we find a different solution for him. Maybe we trade Gleyber Torres, even though I do like Gleyber and he's a decent player for us. Having an okay season here, 21 home runs, 70 RBIs. He's doing okay. But since his arm is not great, we might have to think of a different solution for him or for third base. And maybe he's the way that we get to third base. Maybe we trade him. Maybe we trade Gleyber to get Royce Lewis, who is the ideal third baseman that I've been wanting since the beginning. Maybe that's who we get. Actually, no, that's not true. That's for the Bolts. I've wanted Royce Lewis on the Bolts. Either way, I love Royce Lewis. I think he'd be great on this team. So Gleyber Torres, we find a spot for him. Christian Walker moves to DH. Then third base, like I said, we figure out what we do with third base. Catcher ends up becoming Ethan Salas, probably next season. Luis Campusano, either we trade or we move him to the bench. I know it says he was an all-star. He shouldn't have been the all-star. It should have been Nolan Gorman, who won the home run derby and participated in the home run derby. I don't know why the game made it Luis Campusano and not Nolan Gorman. So Campusano gets an all-star appearance even though he doesn't really deserve it because he didn't. Look at this. He got the home run derby winner but no all-star appearance. So he should have been the all-star, and they gave it to freaking Luis Campusano. That's okay. We'll get over it. So with all that, we have our catcher plan. We have our future left field plan. We have C.J. Abrams, who we need to find a spot for. He can play a bunch of different positions. Unfortunately, he can't play third base. His arm isn't even really that fantastic. It's a 68. He can probably play. We have Xavier Isaac, who we brought up, who's a big bat. He could probably come in and play DH a little bit. We have Joe Adell for some speed. Like, we've got a lot of young players on this bench that can fill in different spots. But obviously, we've got Gunnar Henderson, who's locked down at shortstop. We've got, we can maybe even move Gunnar Henderson to third base. I didn't even think about that. Maybe Gunnar moves to third base, and then Gleyber moves to short. Although his arm is still not great for shortstop either. He's really only a second baseman or a DH at this point in his career. So I don't know what we do with Gleyber. But we could also move Gunnar Henderson to third base. I didn't think about that. That's a possibility. Fernando's locked in on the team, obviously, in right field. Gorman is probably locked in at second base. He's locked in on the team. I like Nolan Gorman. I definitely want to keep him on the team. And then Jackson Merrill's locked in. And we don't know. Everybody else can kind of vary. Christian Walker, like I said, he probably moves to DH when we go all in for Vladdy in the offseason. But we'll have to decide. I mean, all this is subject to change when we get to that time when it comes to actually pay Vladdy and do all that kind of stuff. If we go to our budget, we still sit with $30 million. And if we were to trade Gleyber, that would free up a little bit. We could even probably trade Christian Walker. Since he is getting a little bit older, he can't really do anything else except for play first base and DH. Or at least I wouldn't trust him to do anything else. So we could probably move that money on. That's already $28 million in total that we could free up if we need to bring in Vladimir Guerrero Jr. So there's a bunch of different possibilities we could do to free up money. And I mean, Luis Castillo is an expensive contract. He's not guaranteed to stay here. He's just here for a rental, basically, to try to help us make the postseason and do some things. So he's also a guy that we can move on from. Last year we went 74 and 88. We don't want to do that again. We want to be in playoff contention. It looks like we will unless we have a massive fall off. And in today's episode, we will finish up the season. August and September will be done in today's episode because really after the month of July, when you get through the Derby, the draft, the All-Star game, the trade deadline, there's not really much more to look forward to until the postseason. So we're going to get through these 2 months of the season and then hopefully be in the postseason as the winner of the NL West. I don't know what's going to happen. I doubt it, but maybe we go on a hot streak and we beat the Dodgers. I don't know. How many times do we play the Dodgers at the end of the season? We don't play them at all in the month of August. We play them twice in September. We might have to jump in and play a couple of these games against the Dodgers to try to help us win. But those are the final times we play the Dodgers. So those games are going to be pretty crucial. But with all that being done, go on, and if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Let's start by signing some people. We already talked about Gunnar Henderson, how he's locked on this team, so we might as well make that official and give him a nice little 3-year contract extension, pay him about $12 million total. He comes back. Dylan Cease, I'd like to bring him back. We could give him a nice little 4-year deal and pay him maybe $19 million. I like that. He's going to come back. Wyatt Langford, obviously we made the trade for him. I want to keep him back. I want to keep him on the same timeline as Gunnar Henderson, so we'll make it a 3-year deal, and we'll pay him $7 million. Who else do we absolutely know is coming back? C.J. Abrams, absolutely. We'll give him a 4-year deal because C.J. Abrams is a future, I would hope, face of the franchise. I cannot afford that. Oh, okay. Hold on. We can't afford the 4-year deal, but I can't afford probably the 3-year deal. So let's lower his money just a little bit. I don't want to get too crazy here. I cannot afford this contract at this time. How much money do I have now? Did I run out of money? We go to the budget. We have $30 million. Oh, because that money hasn't taken effect. Oh, okay. So we'll hold off on the rest of the contract extensions. It looks like I can't pay anybody else too crazy. So we'll hold off on the rest of those extensions, and we will move on to the actual game. So let's start simulating here. Series against the Cubbies. We have an opportunity to jump in right away. We are down by 1 in the bottom or the top of the 8th, but we have 2 runs already. Colt Keith is at the plate. I believe in you, Colt. Corbin Burns has forearm tightness. That's not great. We do lose the game, unfortunately. Now we jump in. Fernando Tatis has an 11-game hit streak. We lose that game as well. Okay, maybe we're not going to be able to keep up with the Dodgers if we're going to be losing games to the Cubs. I mean, they're a 67-win team, but we should be beating the Cubbies. We lose to the Phillies. Burns is back. Fernando Tatis has 2 home runs. We're winning 5-0. We win 5-0 in the end, so Tatis didn't hit his home run. Hopefully we can get the job done here. Okay, now we're starting to win some more games. This is a dangerous situation for Clay Holmes to be in, but we hold on for the victory. So we've won 4 out of our last 5, which is nice. That puts us at 4.5 games back of the Dodgers, so we climb a game back. And I think it is time to see how good of our draft picks we did. We have Eldridge Sanchez, who we took at number 12. He's 90 to 95 potential. If you guys watched the Toronto Blue Jays video, the most recent Toronto Blue Jays video, I drafted in the draft episode, and we found out in this past most recent one, we found out that guy was a 99 potential player with like an 80 starting overall. That was the best player I've ever drafted in any franchise ever. So I can't believe that Eldridge Sanchez is going to be any higher than a 95. He's not going to be, but I hope he is. Let's view the draft picks. How did I do? Okay. A 93 for Eldridge Sanchez. See, this is our Dylan Lesko replacement right off the bat. He's a 93 potential. He's already a 65, which Dylan Lesko, I think, was in the low 70s. So, I mean, he's already close to where Lesko was. He's probably going to start right away at AAA. Then we kind of missed on everybody else. But Bo Hall is a fast boy. And he's got decent contact versus lefty. You know what? I wouldn't consider this much of a miss. Yes, he doesn't have a lot of potential, but he's a starter. He's a 72 overall starting overall. He's got decent contact versus lefties, a decent bat in overall. He can't really field for a center fielder, which is kind of annoying, but he's really fast. So that's an interesting piece. Then we've got ourselves Johnny Pearson. All these other guys are going to be deep potential. This guy has a massive power bat. Okay, I like that. He's decently fast. Okay in the field as a center fielder. But he'd probably play... he doesn't have an arm for second base. He probably does have an arm for second base. He'd probably play more second base in the end game. Then you got Julian Hawk, who is... Ooh, Julian Hawk right off the bat is a contact monster. I drafted this guy because he had power. It turns out he had contact, not power. Because he's 6'5", 218, so I think we drafted him because of his build and because he had the potential of a lot of power. But it turns out he's got a lot of contact. This guy could end up being something. He's a first base. He's more of a I was gonna say he's more of a DH. I don't really know what he is. And then the final guy is our favorite name of all time, Woody Naylor. I don't know. Woody? I don't know. He's a good contact bat. He's got decent disciplines. He's got a really good arm at first base. Maybe we turn him into a third baseman. I don't know. He's not really super fast. I don't know. A lot of these other guys are kind of just like, I don't know what we do with them. Eldridge Sanchez is going to be a starter in this league. That's for sure. He's going to be a starter in the league. So now we know how good our draft picks are or how bad they are, if you want to think about it like that. Let's continue simulating on here. We have a series against the Guard. Let's hopefully get the W. And, okay, we lose that game against the Guardians. But now we have bases loaded for our new addition, Lane Thomas. You know what? This is the first situation we've had with our new addition, Lane Thomas. Let's jump in and try to help Lane Thomas impress the Padre faithful. Here we go. Bases loaded, nobody out for Lane Thomas, the new addition. Brought him over from the Nationals for really pennies on the dollar. And he's going to ground into a double play to end the inning and not get any runs. That's not a good sign for his future here in San Diego. That's more me, though. That's not his fault. Return to simulator. Am I going to get another chance to win? No, the Guardians take the win and the series because that's 2-0. Well, that's unfortunate. I was first pitch swinging on a pitch I probably shouldn't have been first pitch swinging on. Oopsie poopsie. All right, but I get to redeem myself in the next game. Jackson Merrill at the plate. You know what? I got to jump. I got to do better than what I did in that last game. Here is Jackson Merrill. This time it's 2 outs, bases loaded. Jackson Merrill, what do you got for me? First pitch swinging again, but this time I don't miss it, and it's going to score 2. Jackson Merrill, the future face of the franchise, will get the Padres up 7-5. Let's go, Jackson. Let's go, big dog. Good job. Little blooper, and now we got Gleyber. Okay, Gleyber Torres. Runners on the corners. What's Gleyber got for me? A swing to left field and a fly out. That felt like good contact. I guess I just didn't get around it enough. And we hold on for the win. Good job, boys. We're not getting swept by the Guardians. And that was the last scoring of the game because nobody else scored. It was 7-5. All right, I'll take that. We survive and don't get swept by the Guardians. Now we have a 4-game set against the former Lane Thomas's former team, the Nationals. Corbin Burns, another injury. Come on, Corbin. We get the win. That's 2 injuries now since we started the episode. Shane Bieber's in a tough spot, and we lose 3-2. Dylan Cease is in a tough spot, but he's got a shutout going, and he held on, or at least we got the shutout. I don't know if he got the shutout. Looks like he did. Reed Detmer's up next, and he's got a tough... Why is everybody getting a tough situation against the Nationals? We win that game, though. That's nice to see. So we take the series 3-1 against the Nationals. We're 70-54, but look at that. We're 7. We were 4.5 games back because we had those 2 losses to the Guardians. Man, the Dodgers are just such a tough team. But it looks like the Diamondbacks aren't going to be a threat. They ended up going 15 games back, not even progressing from 11. So it's just going to be us versus the Dodgers. What do we stand at in the wild card? We stand as the 3rd wild card team. So we have potential to be the number 1 wild. This is really close right here. But I don't want to be the wild card. I want to be the winner of the division. But I don't know if we can climb the Dodgers. They're going to be just too crazy. A little 2-game set on the weekend against the Angels. We lose game 1 and we take game 2. So we split against them. That's not ideal. We need to go on like a big 6-7 game win streak to even get close to the Dodgers. But now we have a Gleyber Torres situation. He's got an 11-game hitting streak against the Twins and Jordan Balazovic. You know what? Gleyber, let's do this. Gleyber Torres, averaging .264 on the season. We just hit with him on that last time we jumped in and we flew out to left field, so not a good sign. But the 11-game hitting streak is on the line here. We got to try and keep it. Come on, Gleyber. He's got a strikeout in this game. Not great. You can do it, Gleyber. I believe. And that's a grounder to third base. That'll be the end of his day, probably, because we're at the bottom of the 8th. So that's the hitting streak over, and it is, and we lose. Royce Lewis, 3 RBIs on the home run. And the Twins will take the victory. Not ideal. Corbin Burns is back. Finally. Let's see if we can get a victory. Gleyber Torres again, but we lose to the Twins. We beat the Twins, so we don't get swept. We've yet to get swept this episode. That's nice. And we take on the A's, who are god-awful. And now we're 8 games back of the Dodgers. I don't know if it's going to be possible to climb the mountain that is the LA Dodgers. But I hope now this series against the A's is happening, we can get on the right track. And it looks like we will. No, they came back and beat us. Unbelievable. We were going to sweep the A's, and we came back and lost, and they came back and won that game. That's crazy. All right. Series against the Reds, who are also bad. But we're in Great American, and we will get swept. Castillo's got a shutout going. This is the first time we get to see Castillo against his former team, funny enough. You know what? I'm going to get the final 3 outs. Not winning 6 straight games against the A's and the Reds is kind of embarrassing. They're both under 60 wins in August. We should really be sweeping both of these teams. It's kind of unfortunate that we're not. And the fact that we are scraping by and only getting 1 win against Cincinnati is kind of unfortunate. It looks like we're just going to have to battle for that wild card spot, because the way that we're playing to end this season is not going to get anywhere close to the Dodgers. That's a grounder to third base. Colt Keith makes a jumping throw and right to Christian Walker at first. Gets Edwin Arroyo out, and now it's TJ Friedel up. It's funny that Luis Castillo comes back to Cincinnati, but he's in another team uniform. Here comes the circle change. Swing and a miss over the top of it. We'll go sinker. 1-1 to Friedel. And also, the Reds was the MLB The Show 22, right? 22? Because then the Royals were 23. Yeah, so the Reds were the MLB The Show 22 franchise team that I did. They were the first series I did on the channel, along with the Legends series I did that year, I think, right? We did Legends? I don't remember. But the Reds, I know we did the series on. And that is a swing and a miss for Will Benson. Hopefully we can get a swing and a miss on this slider and end the game, end their team's hopes, and there it is. Luis Castillo comes back to Cincinnati and puts a 10-run shutout on the board. That's a big one. We needed that to avoid the sweep, mainly. We avoid the sweep. Castillo gets 11 strikeouts, no walks, no earned runs, obviously. We shouldn't have had the threat of getting swept anyway, but it is what it is. Now we have to go and play the Braves, of course. They're just as tough as the Dodgers are. So we have game number 1. We're losing by 1, but Colt Keith has a chance to give us the lead, and he doesn't do it. We win that game against the Braves, so it's 1-1 right now, and we're leading 13-4, and Joe Adell's got 2 home runs. We end up holding on 13-4, and we take the series against the Braves. That closes the gap to just 8 games now, which isn't really much better than where we were at 8.5 games. The Giants are up next. They're not good, so we need to take these. We have to do the September call-ups. I forgot about that. We need to start winning games against the teams that are bad. We shouldn't be losing these games. All right, so do we need to bring up another pitcher in the bullpen? Probably not. I feel like I'm pretty good with our bullpen. Now, our bullpen's kind of getting shelled a little bit, especially with Wandy Peralta and Patino. But we'll address that in the offseason. We have Clay Holmes and we have Yohan Duran. Our bullpen's pretty full. Salas and Campusano are already up. Xavier Isaac's already up. Gorman, obviously, is already up. We don't have a backup third baseman. But we have C.J. Abrams, who can't play third base, unfortunately. We have Mason Wynn, who probably deserves to get called up. Shane Bagley's injured. He probably wouldn't get called up anyway. We have our first-round pick, Mariano Alfonso. Does he deserve to get called up? He's having a really good season in terms of RBIs. He's got an OPS of 771. He's having a pretty good year, but is he ready to get called up? Nah, I think he needs he needs to have this whole season down in AAA. Maybe we talk about it next year. He gets called up, because this is his first year in professional baseball, so he's not ready just yet. So I guess the only guy that we call up is Mason Wynn. So he gets the call up. And then we call up probably some outfielder. We don't have a lot of outfield depth except for Langford and Joe Adell. So maybe we get... I mean, I don't know. I don't like anybody else. And Oscar Mercado would probably be the only guy that I'd call up. I'm not going to call up Ken Flynn. It's the same deal with him as it is for Alfonso, although he's killing it down in Double-A. He probably gets called up to Triple-A next season. So it's the same kind of deal. I don't really want him up either. Same deal with William Yan. DeVries is certainly not ready yet. Maybe we call up one of these two guys, Matthew Baton or Clay Dungan. Let's call up Matthew Baton. We'll call him up to the bigs. He can at least back up for third base a little bit. So those will be the two call-ups, and we'll continue moving on. We beat the Giants. Come on, sweep the Giants. Gleyber Torres is a 13-game hit streak against one of our favorite closers on the channel, Camilo Duvall. You know what? I'm going to try to get this boy the hit streak extended, and I'm going to try to get the win, too. Gleyber Torres. We've jumped in with you a couple different times, Gleyber, and I haven't had good success. So let's hope that changes right here. First pitch swinging, it's not going to change. The cutter down low in the middle, basically down the center of the plate. And I was a little bit late on the timing. So that is the end of the game, and we lose the game. Yeah, that's basically how I thought it would go. Oh, that's stupid. So we don't sweep the Giants. I was hoping that would propel us to like a big-time win streak or something, but apparently not. And here we go. We got the Dodgers. 6 games in 2 weeks, with the Reds kind of smushed in there to kind of ease our bats back to normal. Here we go. Yamamoto is killing it. 16-6 with a 3.31. Oh my God, Yamamoto. Wandy Peralta is in a dangerous situation against the Fresh Prince. I mean, look at the people on the screen right here. Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, and Will Smith. You got to be kidding me. Wandy's been getting shelled all year. I got to try to help Wandy. This is too big of a game to let fate decide, because you know fate's going to side with the Dodgers. So 2 outs. Wandy Peralta gets Will Smith the fly out to right field. We survive the 8th. Let's go. Come on, big dogs. Should we continue playing, or should we return to simulation? Return to simulation. Get the win, get the win, get the win, get the win. Okay, so we have... Oh, Lane Thomas has a chance for the cycle. He's already got a home run, a double, and a single today, so we need to hit a triple. And Dodger Ballpark, the Dodger Ballpark is favorable in that outfield to hit a triple. So it could happen right here. Nick Frasso is on the mound. I don't recognize that name. He's probably somebody in their minor league system in real life. And he's got a pitch inside to Lane Thomas. He gets the hold of that one. Lane Thomas into center field. But it'll be the end of the inning. I probably shouldn't have swung at that. He jammed me pretty good there. But we hold on for the victory. We take game 1 against the Dodgers in the 3-game series. Big. That's big. That is absolutely mahusive. Mookie Betts must have had the 3-run homer. But that's not going to be as simple the rest of the series. I mean, look at you. Bobby Miller's got a 13-9 record. Dustin May's 10-7. I mean, these Dodger pitchers are just out of control. Game 2 is a 9-1 loss. Game 3 is close. Reed Detmers with 2 outs. Mookie Betts at the plate. Come on, Reed. I believe in you, but I also don't believe in you. We're jumping in. It's against Mookie Betts. Mookie! 2 outs. Bases loaded. We cannot give Mookie a pitch to hit. If he takes this yard, our souls are crushed. Come on, Reed. You want to be a big league pitcher? These are the type of moments you have to face. Mookie Betts, grounder to shortstop. Gunnar Henderson can't pick it up. It's going to score 2. And the Dodgers lead 3-1. I can't believe that freak. And the ball even lets Mookie go to second. I can't believe this. I give up with this team, man. Gunnar Henderson could not reach the ball. It's an RBI double, 2 RBI double. And we are in a dangerous spot for Chris Taylor. We just need to get that final out, but we're going to lose this game to the Dodgers and lose the series. I really hope that we don't have to play the Dodgers in the postseason, because we will get swept, most likely. The slurve is not called strike 3. Are you serious? I thought that was ball game right there. Circle change gets him to swing and miss. Oh, but Gunnar Henderson not being able to grab that pitch is kind of brutal, because it allows them to score 2 runs, and that will be the game. No, we have a chance. We've tied it. 1 in the 7th and 1 in the 8th. And now here in the top of the 9th, Joe Adell, who has Christian Walker on third. Not an ideal situation. With only 1 out, has a chance to give us the lead. Joe Adell. Go. Go, Christian. I believe in you. You're not fast. Get there, Christian. He does. Joe Adell gets the lead for the Padres. Yes, Joe. That's what I'm talking about. Big dog. And now C.J. Abrams comes up, who's 0 for 4 today. Not a great situation for C.J. today. Oh, but he grounds, and that's going to be a double play unless C.J. can beat the throw. Get there, C.J. Get there, C.J. Get there, C.J. He does. He beats the throw, so it's only a fielder's choice. And that leaves Jackson Merrill with another insurance run on the horizon. Don't swing at that. He backs him out of the box. Only 191 with runners in scoring position? Come on, Jackson. We're in September. You got to be stepping it up like that. You got to be stepping up better than, what, 191. That was the pitch to hit right there, though. I missed it. That could be a pitch to hit. It is not. It's a grounder to second base, and that is the inning. But, crucially, we added that run from Joe Adell, scoring Christian Walker. So hopefully we can hold on for the victory. Come on, boys. Close the door. Oh, it's a dangerous situation. Johan Duran is in the game with a runner on second. This is why we pay you the big bucks, Duran. To get the double play. Gorman, glove throw to Henderson. On to first. The Padres win. We take the series against the Dodgers. Let's go. Much needed. Those 7th and 8th were huge, getting those extra runs to tie the game. And then the Joe Adell blooper into left field was huge. So we take the series 2-1 against the Dodgers. That closes the gap to 7.5 games. Now we have to sweep the Reds. That just has to happen. And we don't sweep the Reds. We don't even... Oh, my God. Oh, my God. We take one against the Cincinnati Reds, who are 65-81. What are we doing, San Diego? Now we're back to 8 games. Now we have the Dodgers again. And we have the bases loaded for Ethan Salas. You know what? I haven't even played with Ethan Salas yet, so let's jump in and play with Ethan. I have yet to play with our top prospect catcher, Ethan Salas, who most likely next season will be the starting catcher for us. He will take over for Luis Campusano, and he might have just tied this game. A shot into center field will score 2. Ethan Salas, 2 RBI single, and the Padres are tied here in the bottom of the 6th. And that brings up Jackson Merrill, who I don't have a good record with at the plate. We seem to always be hitting against Nick Frasso for some reason. Oh, I saw Kershaw in the mound there, or in the bullpen there. Merrill flies it to first base, but Freddie Freeman has the reaction timing of a ninja. Absolute insanity. And now the Dodgers have put up another run, so it's 4-3. Gavin Lux hit an RBI triple. Of course he did. So now it's Gleyber Torres. If Gleyber can put this in the outfield, I have a good feeling we can score both runs. Don't swing at that. That's a good take. Good take. Good eye, good eye, good eye. He's grounded into 14 double plays this year. Not ideal, but that's why he's our DH. Come on, Gleyber. Come on, Gleyber. Don't swing at that. That was a good pitch. Good pitch, but it would have been a double play. Most likely. Especially my timing on it. Come on, Gleyber. Ay, Chihuahua. That is not ideal. Super early on that. I thought that was going to be a different pitch. I was not sitting changeup, basically. There we go. That's more my speed, and that's going to score just 1. So it ties the game. It's not going to... Oh, get there to third. Get there to third. Get there! Ooh, Fernando Tatis. I was close, big dog. But Torres scores the run, and they bring in the Kirsch. And he has to go up against Gunnar Henderson. The veteran versus the young gun. The next big thing. Come on, Gunnar. We traded for you for a reason. Wow, that pitch. That was not even that it was fast. It was just that I couldn't see the ball. So I mistimed it. 4-4. 1 out. Gunnar very late on the timing again. I can't time the fast, or I can't time the speeds of Kershaw. He's not what he used to be. He's not throwing these pitches like he used to. So I'm not ready for the slower pitches to come in. That's a grounder. That's going to be a double play unless Gunnar can beat the throw. Gunnar beat it. Beat it, Gunnar. He did, and we lead. Gunnar Henderson. Fielder's choice RBI. Tatis comes around to score. And now it's time for Christian Walker. Okay, Christian. If you could go yard, that would be unbelievable. Christian Walker, not going to go yard. Not even going to be a base hit. Into right field. But we do lead 5-4, so we've done our job twice now. Come on, Padres, just hold on for the victory. And the Dodgers are now up 6-5. They just don't quit. They don't quit, man. I got the run to go up 4-3. Then I got the 2 runs to go up 5-4. Now they've got up 6-5. I can't do this anymore. Come on, Dodgers. Stop it. Quit it. Stop being good. Ethan Salas, if he could hit a freaking home run, that'd be fantastic. It's not a walk-off situation because we're only in the 8th. But I just don't want to keep trying to have to claw back against the Dodgers. We had the lead twice. I don't know who's pitching today. I don't really know. I didn't see who was in the starter for us, but apparently we're sucking. Come on, Ethan. No, I'll take a walk, I guess, but that brings up Jackson Merrill, and I have not had a good history with Jackson Merrill in this episode, so maybe I shouldn't take a walk. But I don't have a green light. 3-0 count, nobody out. Hands off the controller. He throws me a pitch right down the middle. That's okay. There was never a green light on that. That was too risky. But 3-1, I think I have green light here. And I shouldn't have. Oh, that's a wasted out. Or a wasted at bat, I should say. Because that brings up Jackson Merrill with 1 out. Double play situation. They take out, thank God they take out Kershaw. I could not hit Kershaw for whatever reasons. They bring in Brusdar Graterol of all people. Hopefully I can hit him more, and I cannot. That's a double play, inning over, and we're going to lose the game. Oh, no, he overthrew him. Mookie. Pinch runner situation. Isn't Merrill decently fast? He's got 74 speed, but we do have Joe Adell on the bench. So you know what? We're bringing in Joe Adell. Lane Thomas at the plate. He's had a really good time here in San Diego since we brought him in from the deadline. Ooh, that was my bad. Way too early here. I'm getting a little too antsy. All we got to do is put something for a hit in the outfield. Joe Adell will come around and score. And that is going to be a hit in the outfield. Joe Adell is going to come around and score. That's a tie ball game here in San Diego once again. My God, can we hold on to something, please? I know it's the Dodgers. I know they're good. Can we please just hold on to something for my own sanity? Tatis takes a first pitch cutter. Tatis 0 for 3 today. Seems like we never play good with against the Dodgers. But we also don't play good against the Reds. Get out. That's not going to get out, is it? No. So we end the 8th, tied at 6. Please don't make me go to the bottom of the 9th with down a run. They're going to make me go to the top of the 9th with 2 outs. I believe in you, Johan Duran. I shouldn't have believed in Johan Duran. You got to be kidding me, bro. What is going on? These Dodgers just don't die. Just go away. Stop being good. Now we have a chance to walk off. But we could have had the win 3 times over by now. And Evan Phillips is the best catcher or the best closing pitcher in baseball, or at least in the National League. So great, we have to face that guy. Fantastic. That's exactly what I want to do. Glaber, oh my God, that could have been it. That cutter basically in the middle. Look at the PCI play, or look at the placement of that pitch. It's right in the middle. How is that not a 2-run homer to walk off and win the game for the Padres? Glaber. I need you to be Glaber Torres and hit a home run, please. Don't swing that. Oh, ball. Thank God. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate that. I really, really, really appreciate that. All right. No, that's ball 4. Glaber takes a base. We already used our pinch runner in Joe Adell. Who else has speed for Glaber? 79 speed for C.J. Abrams. We'll bring him in. That's decent speed. C.J. Abrams now becomes the winning run. So if Gunnar Henderson can do anything, it would be appreciated, but that's going to be a fly out. Oh! I want to eat myself from the inside out. Now the double play ball is in contention to win the game, or to end the game for us. It's Christian Walker, though. I guess if I wanted anybody at the plate to hit a home run, it's Christian Walker. And that was the home run. I just didn't swing for some reason. I don't know why I didn't. I don't know if it would have been a home run, but it was a pitch to hit. I froze, I guess. I just didn't swing. I didn't press the button. Come on, Christian. I signed you in free agency so you would be a nice power bat to add to the lineup. You haven't had a good day today. Nobody on this team has, really. I hate myself. I simply hate myself. I wanna not be in existence right now. after that swing. That's, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. And now it's up to the young buck, Colt Keith, grounder to Mookie. Mookie will end the game. We lose to the Dodgers. We had this game won on 3 different occasions, and the Dodgers just kept on fighting. I hate them. Just go away. Stop it. My God. They just wouldn't die. Now we have another situation. C.J. Abrams. Reed Detmers has that head contusion. Did he get hit in the head? Wyatt Langford's injured too. And we have 28 guys or 27 guys on the roster because Langford's done. I just hate it here. I absolutely 1,000% hate it here. I don't want to be alive right now. I can't handle this. I'm not built for this. Who is going to get called up in the short term? Bryce Johnson, I guess? We'll add Bryce Johnson to the team just until our guys get back. We get swept by the Dodgers. So that's the division. To be fair, the division was already over. And look at the Diamondbacks have gotten back into it. I wasn't even paying attention. But the Diamondbacks have climbed back to us, at least. And they've passed us. Oh, my God. What is life right now? Win baseball games. Please. I don't know what's happening. I honestly am I'm stunned. We are losing to the Diamondbacks. We are out of the wild card. What has happened? Why are we bad? What is this? I don't understand why we're losing games. I honestly don't. Everybody's cold. Nolan Gorman has 39 home runs, and we are wasting him. Is it the pitching? What is happening? I mean, the pitching's not bad. They're not good, but they're not bad. Oh, my God. We are losing baseball games in the craziest way physically possible. We got to move that loser Bryce Johnson down to AAA again because Wyatt Langford's back now. Please, sweep the Giants. We didn't even sweep the freaking Giants. They're not good. Hey, AAA team won the championship. Good for them. Oh my God, I cannot believe we're in this situation. I honestly am shocked that we are in the situation that we're in right now. How are we this bad? We have one more series to go against the Pirates. If we do not sweep the Pittsburgh Pirates, they are the Pittsburgh freaking Pirates. I know they're 82 and 78. They are the Pittsburgh Pirates. Please, finish the job. Nolan Gorman, I'm jumping in. Final game of the season. I'm going ham. Nolan Gorman has 39 home runs, and we have wasted his season. This is a fantastic season. He won the home run derby this year. He's killing it at the plate, and we have wasted his season for the most part because we suck, and I don't know why. I made the right moves at the deadline, and they don't seem to care. I don't know how that pitch is not home run. I guess I was a little bit early. I hate it here, and I want to go away. Come on, Gorman. Come on, Nolan Gorman. There it is! Number 40 for Gorman. A 3-run shot to right field. Padres lead 4-2. Nolan Gorman has been a stud. 416 to right field. He got around it and sent it to the moon. That's what I'm talking about, big dog. He's the only guy on our team that wants to win baseball games, apparently. Glaber might send this to the wall as well. Glaber back-to-back? I wasn't even trying. And Glaber goes back-to-back. Wow. Okay. Number 29 for Glaber. That's back-to-back shots. That was dead center, too. They pull their pitcher for Yimi Garcia, and now it's Christian Walker. Can I go back-to-back-to-back? I mean, that'd be insanity. I wasn't even really trying with Glaber. I was just trying to get out of the inning so we could simulate again. But I go and I swing for the fences, apparently. I was just a normal swing. It wasn't even like a power swing or anything. All right, we're not going to go 3 straight home runs. That's a great diving effort by the shortstop, and he makes the play. But we add another run. It's 5-2. We should be able to hold off the Pirates for the victory, and we do. We sweep the Pirates to end the season, end year number 2. But I am not happy. We did what I wanted, which was beat the Pirates because they suck. Well, they don't suck in this. They're 82 wins, but in theory, the Pirates suck. They always suck. So we do that. We finish above the Diamondbacks, and we finish with a wild card spot. The final wild card spot. How did we get here? How in the world did we get to this spot? We were so close to the Dodgers, and then we just... Look at all these losses against teams that are bad. We lost against the Reds multiple different times. Look at these. We didn't sweep the Reds once. We lost against the A's. Against... Who else did we play that's bad? The Angels we lost a game against. They're bad. The Nationals we lost a game against. The Giants we didn't sweep. Either time we played them. The Tigers we didn't sweep. We lost 2 games against them. They won 59 games, and they took 2 games against us at the end of the year. What is life right now? How did we end up in this situation? I don't understand it. It's crazy to me that we did not win more than 90 games. Absolute insanity. Let's go over the stats before I bite somebody's head off. Lane Thomas, we brought him in from Washington. He ended up having a really, really good season with us. I like the direction he's going, and I think for next season he's going to be our starting left fielder, unless something changes in the offseason. But as of right now, he's the starting left fielder. And then we'll eventually grow to where Wyatt Langford, wherever he's at, here he is, he'll eventually take over that spot, I would assume. Gunnar Henderson, obviously he's the fan favorite. He's the starting shortstop, or maybe the starting third baseman. I haven't fully decided what direction I want to go with that. But he had an okay year. Pretty decent. Then we got Fernando Tatis, who kind of dropped off. I mean, this is not that good of a year for Fernando Tatis. I expected bigger things. Maybe we need to move him around in the lineup next season, because hitting third obviously did not help him do too much. So I want him back to this Fernando Tatis, not this one. So we'll have to figure something out with him. Nolan Gorman killed it. 40 home runs. He also had 36 last year. Nolan Gorman is a home run machine, so I'm happy with him. He had a really good year. Then you got Gleyber Torres, who also had a pretty solid year. I'm happy with how Gleyber Torres performed, and we'll figure out what we want to do with him. I still want to keep him on the team because I think he's a valuable asset. He just doesn't have the arm. If he had a stronger arm, I could put him at third base and be happy. But he just doesn't have the arm for me, so we'll have to figure out something with him. Then you got Christian Walker. A 30 home run season's not too shabby. He did pretty good. You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe Christian Walker is the trade piece and not Gleyber Torres. I don't know. We'll have to figure it out in the offseason. You definitely don't want to miss the offseason episode because some things are going to happen. That's for sure. Jackson Merrill, he improved, but that's just because he got a lot of opportunities. I don't know. I just don't mesh well with him for some reason, but he's doing good in simulation, I guess, so obviously he's going to stick around. And then Luis Campusano, probably his last year as the starter. Most definitely his last year as the starter. We'll see what we want to do with him. Maybe we package him and Christian Walker together in a deal, and that gets us somebody of note. But I don't know. I haven't fully decided yet. And then Colt Keith actually got some decent play, but right now he's not the third baseman long term. But we'll have to wait and see. Then you got C.J. Abrams, who I like a lot, and I want to find a spot for him. We'll just have to wait and see where he goes. Ethan Salas, the next guy at catcher. He will take over for Campusano next season. He had an okay year, but he didn't really play a whole ton. He played 40 games. So we'll see how he does over a full season next year. Joe Adele actually performed really, really well. I was super impressed at how Joe Adele was hitting. So I like having him on the bench. He's super fast as well. He's a good versatile bat. Can play all the outfield positions. So Joe Adele's a nice utility guy to have out there. Then Xavier Isaac, we just called him up recently. He didn't really get a lot of showtime, so we don't have much to say about him. Same thing with Mason Wynn and Matthew Baton. Wyatt Langford did a lot of this for the Rangers, not for us, but he still had a decent year. And then the pitching. So we got Corbin Burns, who got hurt a couple times this year in this episode, but still went 13-11. 4.07 ERA, a 1.22 WHIP. His WAR was a 3.8. Corbin had an average year, I guess. Shane Bieber really pitched well. He was the shining star. 16 wins, a 285, a 1.03 whip. Shane Bieber destroyed this year. Really, really good season. Then you got Dylan Cease, who had 14 wins, had a 4.10 ERA, a 1.46 whip. Kind of on the same level as Corbin Burns, just didn't really do too amazing this year. Reed Detmers, 10 wins, a lot better improvement than he had against in last season with the Angels and us. A 4.27, a 1.38. Seems to kind of be the trend for our pitchers this year. And then Luis Castillo, he did what I asked him to do. He came in and was a solid number 5. We'll see how he pitches in the postseason, if we even make it deeper than the wild card. But that's for the next episode, so we'll see how he does there. And then the bullpen, I'm not excited to look at these numbers because I think they all got shelled. Luis Patino, we're going to have to make a move away from him because he is not good. Yuki Matsui pitched decently well. I'm happy with how Matsui played. I'm fine with having him in the bullpen. Woo-Suk-Go, I think is how you say his name, Suk-Go. I don't know. He didn't pitch amazingly. I'd probably prefer Matsui over him, even though Matsui's a little bit older. I just didn't. Maybe he can pitch a little bit, but he definitely improved over last season. But I just don't know. Maybe you know what? We'll keep him around. Maybe he can. Maybe that trend keeps going and he keeps getting better and better. Who knows? Tom Cosgrove just kind of was there, I guess. He's just kind of a fill-in until we find our actual bullpen guy. And then you got Clay Holmes, who I like. We signed him in the offseason. He's going to stick around. Had a pretty decent year. Wandy Peralta is gone, probably. Wandy Peralta's just not going to cut it. Johan Duran, I don't know what happened with this dude. I mean, he had 35 saves, but he had 7 blown saves. I guess that's better than last year, but still. Not a great ERA, not a great whip. Better than last year, but still not a great whip. And not a great WAR. Johan, I want you to be the guy, but I don't know if you can be. And then we will simulate the next day to finish up the regular season. We made the postseason, so we will play the Cubs in a 3-game wildcard series. And the Cubs, we played them earlier, and they 93 and 69, they took 2 of 3 against us, so I'm not happy about that. Let's see awards and all that kind of stuff. So league leaders, Bieber led the league in all that kind of stuff. We'll go through this pretty quickly before we wrap up the episode. If you care about it, you can pause it to see any specific stats or anything like that. But we don't really care about this good stuff like right here. Okay, I need to go to the American League so you can see that as well, so you kind of feel like you know what's going on around the rest of the Major League Baseball. I don't want to leave out anybody. Looks like there were some pretty interesting teams. Yankees and Twins, I'm seeing a lot of. Yankees, or the Astros as well. All right, so we go to that. We'll take a look at the awards. Christian Walker and Fernando Tatis got gold gloves, but that's it. So Matt Olson wins MVP of the National League, and it goes to Yordan in the American League. Cy Young goes to Freddie Peralta and Pablo Lopez. Batting title goes to Acuna and Altuve. Reliever of the year goes to Evan Phillips and Robert Stevenson. Why is Robert Stevenson having a career resurgence? Like, what the heck is this guy? He was a former Red that didn't do anything and then bounced around and sucked, and now he's here in the Rangers and he's killing it. Maybe we make a move for Robert Stevenson, but I guarantee you the moment we make a move for Robert Stevenson, he just dies and has no good qualities ever. Rookie of the year goes to Hayden Murray for the Giants and Kyle Manzardo of the Guardians. Then you got Hank Aaron, Acuna, and Aaron Judge. And now here are the gold gloves for first base, second base, third base, shortstop left field, center field, right field. Tatis gets it again. Silver Slugger DH, Silver Slugger catcher, first base, second base, third base, shorty, outfield, and outfield. There we go. So there's all the awards, all the good stuff. We play the Cubs in the wild card. It's a 3-gamer, so we have to win 2 games to take the Cubs. We got Burns, Bieber, and Cease. You know what? I might even want Bieber on the mound for Game 1. Bieber on the mound for Game 1. Burns on the mound for Game 2. And then probably Castillo on the mound for Game 3? Do we trust Castillo or do we trust Dylan Cease? That's the bigger question. I might want Castillo on the mound for Game 3. I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. Did they mess up my lineup? They brought up Jackson Jobe, I saw. What kind of playoff lineup do they have here? The bullpen's the same. Okay. They moved Xavier Isaac down. I don't necessarily hate that. Mason Wynn, okay. Langford. Good thing they didn't bring up Alfonso. I would have been upset about that. So it looks like they just brought up Jackson Jobe and moved down Xavier Isaac. That seems to be the only change that I see here, which I don't necessarily hate having Jackson Jobe up here, but I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. So next episode will be the off-season, or not the off-season episode. I hope not. Next season will be the post-season episode. And hopefully we do good things. So thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching. I truly appreciate it. If you enjoyed, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.